Another episode of Clone X Radio. My name's Toomey, and it's a beautiful day in the metaverse. There's a lot of things happening in the NFT metaverse space across multiple communities, not just Artifact. Um, Boyd Ape just had their anniversary. We've got a lot of reveals from other communities coming up, and a massive reveal from Artifact. The monolith has finally revealed after like 2 months of questing. So that was really exciting. And my guest today is involved in the metaverse in a way that really interests me. My whole attraction to NFTs, blockchain, and Web3 is like the metaverse side of things, the social side of things. And my guest is been DJing some of the biggest events in the metaverse, which is a really interesting direction the way things are going in terms of how we spend time online and social media, and especially through the pandemic, we saw a lot more events going online. So I'm really interested to learn more about that kind of side of things, and I can't think of anyone better than our guest today. So let's bring him in. Tropix, welcome to the stream, mate. Thanks for joining us.
What's up? How are we doing? Thank you for the
Yeah,
intro. Appreciate
yeah,
it.
good, Brad. Yeah, no worries. I appreciate you coming on, man. I'm sure you're busy. It seems you're always doing something in the metaverse, man. All I
Yeah.
see on Twitter is all these events that you're attending. It seems mad. Do you want to just tell us a bit more about yourself, where you're from, and your experience?
Yeah, no, for sure. I was just actually going to post it in my announcements in my Discord that we are live right now, just
Oh yeah,
so
good
people
shout.
know.
I'm gonna share that as well.
Yeah, just I was trying to multitask. Obviously, as streamers, we have to. Um,
Yeah, it's really tough to like share the stream and stuff because I can't do anything until it's
yeah.
actually live.
Exactly. I just actually I just posted it because like this is actually gonna be a first time I think for a lot of people to see my face and hear my story from me like on a visual perspective because everything has been done through, the metaverse at first. Um it just more
Yeah, I mean,
so now it's like showing the real me, right? I mean, I've been an independent artist. I'll kind of go through the breakdown. Yeah. I've been an independent artist my whole life for the last 10 years, self-managed myself, really just built this up by myself, just with my friends. Through the way, experimented a lot on all the different social platforms, Vine, TikTok, was on all different platforms, just building different demographics, different fan bases, understanding, what socials I think worked best. And, when you have to fight algorithms, it's really tough to be seen in front of your own followers and fans and get discovered. So in 2020, when COVID hit, I started to mess around with virtual shows because obviously everyone was home. I understood that digital tech was, improving and getting better for creating experiences online. And, ultimately, when 2021 hit, it was right after I was on TikTok. And I realized that I could really take this space by storm because I understood, it's very important to how to get people involved in the project, right? As a music artist, as a creator, right, as a DJ, how can I bring people along the ride for success, right? How can I have them come along and be an early supporter and reward them for it? It's a totally different concept, but for me, being from like the business end, the music end, the creator end, all these different sides of it, it gives me a different perspective on like understanding how to build this. And in Web3, so in 2021, it really started out as just like immersifying myself in the space, listening and learning. And then it quickly transitioned into, how can I make an impact through Tropix? How can I bring the brand online? How can I do those things, right? So ultimately, it turned into me DJing these virtual shows, right, through different metaverses, including Discord, Sandbox, Decentraland, Omnia. And when you can create these like-minded experiences online where it doesn't matter, where you live in the world, what religion, what you're passionate about, what NFTs you have, what anything in general, when it doesn't matter the time zone, right? And you could come together, right? And celebrate through music. I think that's always special because music is universal, right? So, quickly I started DJing 3 to 4 times a week. So now, like looking back at it, I've now DJ'd over 75 shows in the metaverse online and done over 5+ in real life activations in the NFT Web3 space at South by Southwest, NFT NYC. Upcoming, I have Permissionless, which is a DeFi conference next month, and then we're going to go back to NFT NYC, throwing our own events. And then obviously my own NFTs next month. But yeah, just a lot of things happening. But I want to be that experimental artist to show that it's possible, that you could give exposure to yourself, free of labels, free of middlemen, right? Free of people taking cuts. You can build it yourself if you truly, want to bring your fans on and understand, their perspective.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's fascinating, but I mean, it makes perfect sense as well. Like talking about the social media grind for any artist, whatever space you're in, and trying to fight against the algorithms because every algorithm on every platform's different. And that transition into this metaverse space and kind of throwing parties, it's almost like the new version of social media, isn't it? That's emerging through the metaverse. So I think that transition makes perfect sense, especially as a musical artist. I've spoken to a few artists now, and the control that Web3 gives you over this stuff is just so freeing compared to those shackles of Web2 social media that really is, you are battling against it. I watched a lot of your TikTok videos. You got like 400,000 followers on there. Um, and TikTok's such a beast. I mean, I had nearly 200,000 at one point, and you don't know how it's going to go. And it's like, you don't know if that audience is almost real. You know what I mean? Because an audience would like whatever you're doing, and they're a fan of anything that you post or whatever. But the way that TikTok works, you could have 200, 3, 400,000 followers, post a video and get 200 views. You know what I mean? And sometimes with me, I feel like it's some of the best content I put out there. I put a video that I've worked hours on, and I think it's really engaging content. TikTok just decides, nah. But in Web3, we don't have that middleman to make that decision for us. With tools like Discord, Twitter, and open metaverses, it's just you with your fans and audience. You cut that middleman out, and I think it's a much truer experience. And I do think you're leading the way from what I've seen. I've only been in this game for 6 odd months, just before Christmas, and you're a name that's always stood out to me in multiple communities as well. And like you were mentioning, across all the big metaverses, Sandbox, Decentraland. So I think you're in a really good position, and you positioned yourself there really well for this journey, because the next year or so is going to
No,
be huge in the
I
metaverse for
appreciate it.
sure.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. It means a lot. And yeah, no, just trying to make an impact, experiment in the space, show that I'm a builder, right? I want to make an impact. I want to do it the right way. All 70 shows have been free for any community member, right? Anyone who wanted to attend, you probably could have attended for free. A lot of the events I did in real life, if you were in the Tropix fam or in my community and you reached out to me saying you wanted to go, odds are you got in for free. So already doing the experiences without NFTs, been building and doing that for over a year plus, just to show that it is possible. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely taking my next step to expand. And really make an impact in this space in so many different ways. But yeah, it's to show like independent artists, like you can monetize, you can make an impact, and you can self-sustain, because there's a lot of starving artists out there that have been stripped of monetization from these platforms, from these labels, from art galleries, from distributions, right? So at the end of the day, I think this new ecosystem is the creator economy. But what I want to see more of is more independent artists and more creators that are being built in Web3 fully, make it, right. I don't I It's great to see Web2 successes succeed, monetize, and really build out in a Web3 mindset where they could bring their fans online. But I think the activation occurs when you have new artists that never really were able to showcase their stuff in Web2, but now Web3 makes it possible where their voice can be heard. And then again, discoverability is super important, and sharing their story. I think storytelling is also, again, a very important thing that a lot of people don't really talk about. I mean, when you could tie your story back to your NFTs, I think that's the biggest thing. And when it comes down to a lot of these big projects, like there's not a lot of you have to make sure there's influences from the people themselves who are building it, right? It just doesn't feel like made up. It feels like it actually relates. And when it comes to me, right, with Tropix, like this is I've been an independent artist like my whole life, and we're building this in the same route that I've been in the last 10 years. Is just more so in a way where now you guys could support me and I could support you and create these experiences. So ultimately, like, trying to make that impact in many different ways. But yeah, merging physical and digital experiences and worlds and events, and those are just, the catalyst to start that. And that's what
Mm.
we've been doing.
Yeah, man. I mean, it sounds like great fun. I mean, some of the parties I've seen, IRL and Metaverse, like the videos of yours, they look dope, and I love hanging out with people in the Metaverse. I've been to a few like parties and they're always good fun. It's a bit of a different experience. I mean, what's it like for you being on the other end of that? Obviously, when you're DJing like college parties and stuff, it's like
Yeah.
mad high energy, right? A lot of alcohol flowing around, big party. But when you're in the metaverse, I'm assuming it's you in a studio kind of alone. I mean, how does that differ for you, the
Yeah,
experience?
yeah, for sure. And yeah, it's pretty crazy because I just came back from California for an NFT festival for Monster Buds during 420. But next week, this upcoming week, I'm flying out to South Carolina and I'm playing Clemson fraternity party. So it's definitely like a different balance of the real world and the digital world. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely two completely different things. I love both, right? I think being able to perform in front of people is what made me instantly fall in love with the DJing aspect when I went to those shows in 2013. Um, Again, I'm mentioning years because this is gonna tie into my genesis and stuff. So all these
Oh,
things that I'm
cool.
talking about is pretty cool because, like, again, like what I said is like I want to tie everything back.
Nice.
But yeah, no, like college shows are definitely fun. Just in shows in general, right, are super fun in real life. And when you can, perform and like make an impact, when you can like affect the crowd when you're DJing and really like change the way people think about, real life at that moment, it's great. Digitally, yeah, I do it right here actually in my little studio. It's like a little setup here. I
Nice.
have behind me, I have my DJ stuff that I bring over here, and then I have like a big hub of things for overall just to do it. But yeah, I mean, I have to have Discord open, I have to have Twitter open, I have to be mixing, I have to have the POAP, I have to make sure I have a lot of different things. I'm multitasking when I'm doing the digital shows just to provide the best experience for everyone listening and watching. Again, that's what my biggest goal is like these are community bridging events to bring the community closer. Like this is not about me, it's about like the projects I'm DJing for. And obviously we have the Tropix fam come and support and bring good vibes and positivity to these projects, discords and metaverse parties. But at the end of the day, obviously it comes down to making that impact and really showing that you're here to stay. And you see all these rugs, you see all these people being ingenuine and not authentic, right? And right here I'm just trying to be me, right? Be the artist I was and infiltrate and immerse that into web3 with all of these amazing people that are trying to build and collaborate and really take the digital world to the next level and these meetups.
I think it's awesome, man. I mean, music, I think, is going to play such a big role in Web3 and the metaverse in general. When I first started hanging out in like virtual spaces with people from the community, a lot of these spaces were just built by people. There was no music or anything, but if your avatar had a dance emote, everyone would just stand there dancing anyway. Even though we're just kind of chatting in chat, everyone would still be spamming the dancing emote. And now it's like that's just such a commonplace now. If you're going to hang out with people in the metaverse, to have like music playing, a DJ, and you're all just kind of auto dancing while you're just in chat. You know what I mean? And I think there's so many opportunities for just random spaces. I play a lot of poker in Decentraland, and they regularly have DJs on like a Friday night. So while you're there playing poker, there's a projection of the DJ up on the wall of the building, and I think stuff like that's really cool. So what is the next step for you? So you've mentioned your Genesis collection. I'd love to know more about it.
Yeah.
What's the thought process towards that? And I mean, share whatever you're willing to share with us, really.
Yeah, so over the last, the main years of Tropics Prime were 2016, 2017, 2018, and 2019, right before COVID. The summer is the biggest months, right, for Tropics. It's a Tropic summer, right? I did a lot of summer mixes. I threw my own virtual music festival during the summer. A lot of my shows, a lot of my music comes out. I've released like 6 songs one summer in this. Like it just the biggest part of like where I take it. So the next 3 months, 4 months, 5 months will be definitely the craziest for me. I've been slowing down the amount of parties I've been hosting, just for more in real life shows and for me to focus heads down on my Genesis. NFT collection. Like I said, I've been, building in this space since December 2020, and I've been doing all these shows for all these amazing projects, all without NFTs. There's no gated access. Everything is free. Everything was open, right, for all these people. And if you were part of the community, you would go to the in real life events, right? So now it's really time for me to show that, I reverse engineered and I showed that I wanted to be here. Now it's more so like, now I will draw my NFTs and really take that next step in my approach of building out that Tropix ecosystem, the Tropix family and community, and really see who does want to support and hold, and then create better and even more valuable experiences with them. So the next 3 months, 4 months, you can expect my Genesis NFTs. You can expect new music NFTs. You can expect summer mix. You can expect NFT NYC activation events. And you can expect more in real life events through the summer. I mean, content. So that's like my goals for the summer, the next couple months. It's really been laid out. As you could see here, I can give you a little, let's see what we could do here. Like that's like a little bit of like this is May already. Like that's this has everything from May events like NFT Genesis all lined out. Like I'm organizing. But yeah, May is gonna be pretty crazy. So May will include obviously we're going to be going to the Artifact event in New York City on May 11th. I'm going to be hosting my own Tropix event on May 12th for CloneX people and people in the Tropix fam community. And then on top of that, we'll have Tropix Genesis. So Tropix Genesis will mean a lot to me. It's a lot about my story, my route, when I first got into music up until now. There will be a lot of one-on-one pieces. There's a lot of different artists involved. And basically, it's the 10 years of Tropix from 2013 to 2022. There will be 10 different artists depicting my story, the successes, the failures, my road, what music I release, like everything to encapsulate that. So there'll be 10 one of ones on an auction. These will be the OG Genesis one of ones, like my forever 10, storyboards of like the last 10 years. The music, there will be music incorporated from me for all 10 pieces as well. Then there will also be a culmination piece out of 10. Culmination piece of all 10 of them. That will be an 11th piece, and that will be a count out of 50, and that will be minted at 0.1 ETH. But those 50 will each be randomly handpicked, chosen randomly from different experiences like pre-mint, my Discord, some fun games, the spaces during the week. So it will be all random allotment, and it will be handpicked, so there's no bots. But again, it just allows, like, if there was 50 open, it would probably be botted or be bought up by people who really know how to work the system. So I thought it would be best to do it that way. And again, the Genesis are more so for the auction of the 10 of 10s, and these will be, obviously the out of 50. But just really trying to make an impact, tell my story. It's really, they're coming out really cool, and I'm really excited to really like take that next step and show that it's possible, that you don't need a platform to post it. You don't need an influencer. You don't need any of this. You can, if you build it the right way, you can really, put stuff out in that regard. So I'm excited for that. That's going to be in May. And then in June, we're going to be doing NFT NYC. So I've already been booking Tropix events for that week. So definitely, I mean, don't even have NFTs out and already booking community events, collaborating with some top projects in the space already to do these events. So it just shows the power of, like, what happens when we fund, right? What happens if we do NFTs? What happens if we, really just put the community onto the, event? So there's so much to look forward to, new music as well, music NFTs. But I think we're building the right way. I think we're building it slow and steady, building a foundation. And again, just showing that it's possible that we could do it independently, free of like any big shillers or influencers or platforms right now, and just really build with my community like I have been from day one.
I mean, that's awesome, man. It sounds like you're super busy. You're hustling hard, man. You're doing a lot of things in the space, and I admire that, man. It's all up to us what direction we take. I mean, the metaverse and Web3 and this whole world that we're exploring is really open for anyone to do whatever they want to do, and it really does sound like you're seizing those opportunities and excelling at it too. I mean, the project sounds incredible. So many different layers to it, and lots on offer. Definitely something I'm going to keep my eye on, because I do think it could pave the way for new artists in the space and show them exactly what is possible and what you can do with a community that just previously hasn't really been possible without that connection. It's great to see these new and unique ways. I'm sort of seeing things emerging in the film industry as well, so people can kind of get independent funding to make movies these days. Buy the NFT, will give you special access to the film, and you'll actually fund the making of this movie. I think that when I saw a project doing that recently, I thought that's a huge area, and I think we're going to see a lot more of that, because it's going to start taking money away from the bigwigs in Hollywood and put it into the power of the people, and we can all support projects that we truly believe in, like yours. So I think that sounds awesome, man. I can't wait to see where it goes. And it sounds like you've already got a decent community backing you too.
Yeah, we definitely have some strong on Twitter and Discord, and again, I'm going to curate events surrounding Genesis to make sure people hear the story, that we could tell a story, and also we could celebrate the story. I think everyone loves to celebrate the story. So already planning that as well. There's a lot to look forward to. Yeah, it's just more so for me. Like, I just have a lot of friends that I'm working with. There's no big like VCs or big shillers or influencers that I'm like working with. Like, it's more so like it's very genuine, like it's organic. It's different in this space because, again, like, I'm releasing my Genesis a year after building, right? It's not been done like that. Like, mostly people just rush their Genesis. So it's going to be interesting who shows up, right? Who's been supporting, right? Who really has been supporting and who wants to support and see the future, right, be built. Because, again, when it comes down to it, like, I can't stress this enough. This is my first ever NFTs. And even though I've been building in this space, they're still going to be my first. So there will be always counted as my first and always be rewarded as my first. So the fact is, we built and now we're saying that, rather than putting them out and then saying, yeah, they'll be first and they'll be rewarded. But who knows what I could build? We already built all this stuff. And now I'm saying I'm dropping my NFT. So
Mm.
it's going to be interesting to see who comes really to show love and support. Again, this is a big leap, right? For me, the first time I'm really stepping up and monetizing with my community, bringing them along to succeed. And yeah, I got a lot of fun things planned for them. I already have a lot of value assets for them. Added bonuses. I know music is a utility in itself. My story, what I've preached and what I've executed, is definitely value in itself. But you know, there's a lot more to that I want to provide. And again, like, that's what it takes to be, that metaverse DJ, or be that, artist that really merges physical and digital and Web3 and Web2. And I think I can bring the music crowd. I think I could bring, the PFP Web3 crowd. Because I think I've taken such different approaches and perspectives from each crowd and connected with all of them. And again, I love building out relationships. This is, really the first time we're talking, like this, and we're having a very good conversation. And I appreciate, again, everyone who's listening in or watching this, whether it's live or or recorded after. But yeah, just want to like share what I've learned and really just tell my story.
Yeah, man, I think that's awesome, and I appreciate you telling us all about it. And I can't wait to see where you go in this space. I can't wait to one day attend a Tropix event. I was hoping to come to NFT NYC, but I don't know. My plans are a bit foggy at the moment. We plan on moving city soon, so I don't know if I can really squeeze that in between now and then. But yeah, I imagine the events there are going to be awesome. I mean, you already played last year, and this year's got to be bigger than last year, right? It's going to be huge.
Yeah, I mean, I can probably tease something. The Tropics parties will not be on land. So it's not going to be on land in New York
Fuck yeah.
City. So I'm from New York, right? So people know that I have a lot of relationships I've built over the times, right? DJing a lot in New York City. So I understand that there's going to be a lot of events in New York City. So when I wanted to put together something with these communities, I wanted to make sure it was unique, And when people come here for the first time, they can experience New York City in a very nice lifestyle way. So
Oh
the
man,
the
I'm getting
Tropix
FOMO.
event, the main events are not on land. I can put it that way.
That's sick. I'm gonna
Yeah.
reconsider. I might be browsing flights again later. I do it every couple of days. Like, oh, should
Yeah.
I just go?
Yeah, I mean,
That
book a
sounds
flight
sick,
for
man.
Clonex too, right? The whole week, that too, it's
Yeah.
tough.
Ugh. Yeah, I wish I could do the May event, but I'm going to Italy on the 7th for like 2 weeks. That's been booked in for like a couple months. So gutted I can't make the May event. And you're
Mhm.
doing an event on the 12th as well. I think that
Yeah,
that whole
just
gonna be crazy. There's so much skydiving and shit. Like clones are going hard.
all the artifact team is breaking their backs though and spines,
I
unfortunately.
know,
Speedy
man. That's
recoveries
horrible.
to yeah,
Yeah,
Zaptio
man.
and even Luxon too.
I saw that today. Yeah, yeah. Zaptio falling off a horse, man. I was telling my family about it and showing them the X-ray
Yeah.
because it's just fucking shocking to think. I mean, thank God he's not worse than he is. I mean, I don't know much, but he said he could be paralyzed and he's not. So
Yeah, he would
yeah,
probably
sending
have
out
a
love to
fully
him.
immersive metaverse, like robotic, like
Mm.
capsule probably if that was
Well,
the
he said he
case.
wants to get a pimped out chair for the May event because I think he needs a
Yeah, I'm
wheelchair. So
sure,
I
but
think
yeah,
get
we'll make
something
it easy
fancy.
for him if he wants to come on the 12th. But yeah, no, I'm just super excited again. Like I think Artifact and CloneX too is paving the way, right? In general, when it
Mm.
comes to bringing innovators and creatives together to build and collaborate and also come together to see what the future can be built in real life, right? I think crypto kicks. I think everything with the vials providing opportunities. I mean, for me, like I opened my 8 Clonex and I didn't get any Murakami or anything like that. But when I was able to open vials and then I get a reptile vial, which is a 1.25%, like that, I didn't expect to even get an airdrop where I had the potential to even get another rare, right? Like that. So it's like
Mm.
amazing to be in this opportunity. It's the gifts just keep giving. The community is very strong. It's been my highest conviction for over a year now. I mean, I remember when we were in the Discord almost a year ago now. Like it was me, Luxin, Artsy, Loca GG. Like there's a lot of different, Hondro. There's some OG people, and we were just talking about it. And like when it was named Akira, and like it wasn't even like a project, like we had the highest conviction. So it's just so nice to see it come full circle, always have the highest beliefs and come to this point. But yeah, I mean, I definitely want to connect with all my CloneX people in real life. So wanted to make sure that I can host a party myself on the 12th. So we making that work. So it's a mixture. Obviously we have NFT NYC, planning with 4+ communities, multiple events for NFT NYC. Then we have my Tropics Genesis, right? Planning a Tropics Genesis party as well, celebration, and then the CloneX event, and then CloneX celebration event. And then on top of that, obviously going touring still, right? Going to Clemson at the end of the month. So it's just we're
It's gonna be a
taking it
good
day by
summer,
day.
man.
Lots of calls, lots of moving around.
Fuck yeah,
But
dude.
we making it work and we want to do it the right way. So again,
Yeah,
like
man.
I appreciate everybody who's listening, supporting. We really trying to do it the right way. And again, like by doing it like this, like look, like, been an artist, right? My whole life. And this is the moment. And again, I don't want it to, be, fake or like shilled by influencers, what I've done.
Yeah, man. No, for sure. You want to keep it to yourself, like keep it. You want to own you, where it just hasn't previously been possible. And I think that sounds sick. And I saw your reptile vial on your open sea, man. What a pull, man. The reptile ones are
It
my favorite.
matches the Clonex really nice. It's tough.
Dude, that seems to be happening so much with like so many people. Like they're pulling ones that just fit their clones so well, whether it's may not necessarily match. Yeah, I got the one human clone, got the one human vial, but it's all G. I'll keep going. There's
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
mean,
so many
I
drops.
did get a lot of human vials, but the reptile was my first pull. But
Oh,
I
was it?
wanted a
Wow.
demon and angel, but I didn't get them. Unfortunately, I got 6 humans, a robot, and a reptile. But again, the reptile, that floor is like 25 ETH. It's pretty crazy. Like that's
I
what I'm
know.
saying. Is like never expect that.
Mad.
But I'm like, for me, I'm a firm believer of artifact in the long term. There's a lot coming.
Mm,
So unless I desperately, really, really need it, I'm probably gonna hold it and be a diamond hand for everything. Um, just want to build Tropix. I think we could do Tropix and really build this to be, special. I mean, how many artists do you really see, right? Come on like face to face and connect with the community in like that level, right? It's not
mm,
just about the bigger people, but it's about the people who are trying to do things and really trying to like hit the smaller audiences and the niche people and I love connecting with my fans and love connecting with the people in my Discord. Like I keep it open. Like if someone wants to pitch an idea, like I make sure it goes through me and my community manager. But then if it's really cool, like I'll get on a call with them. Like it's totally fine. Like I'm open to it. Like that's why I said like any people in PR, blogs, spaces, people who do interviews, like I'm open to telling my story now. Like we have Genesis coming up. I'm like putting my face, my name, everything out there. Most of it was these parties, but now it's like we're transitioning to show that we're literally a person behind the camera or behind the metaverse and that it's possible to merge physical and digital.
mm. Yeah, I love that. I mean, again, it's another opportunity I feel is a lot easier in Web3 is connecting with, anyone from everyone. Like you could talk to a founder from a project that you've been in for months, like they're hanging out in the Discord. It's a lot easier just to connect with people and stay more active, like in communities these days. And I think that is a really important part. I mean, to any project for me, community is really important because that's just why I'm in this game. I'm not here flipping NFTs trying to make a quick buck. Like, yes, they are investments and it's a fair amount of money of my investment, but my investment is going into things that I believe in. And if I believe in this project and I see its value to me for its community or whatever it is, then I know there's other people that feel the same way. And it's a great way to bring like-minded people together. And within your community, I love going out, raving, going to clubs and shit. I've done my whole life. So it's definitely something that interests me in the metaverse as well as a new experience into this digital age. So joining your community and following them along, I think is a great place to be for anyone with those kind of interests. Yeah, Um, so going back to Artifact, you said you've got 8 now Monolith 2s. Where do you think we're going next for Artifact? I
Yeah,
mean, we're waiting on tweets any day
it's
now, I
crazy
feel.
because like I mean for now like obviously I was a mod at Artifact and the team and we have a great relationship and obviously I needed to take on my next level of Tropics and I didn't have time but you know it's more so like I was very early in those discords so I was seeing all the hints and stuff they were giving for like what's capable of this year, right? Like they were teasing things last year for this year, so like I
Mm,
definitely have a lot of knowledge of like where their vision was and like what stuff they sneak peeked and stuff. So like I definitely have a crazy mindset. I think the next step is rewarding clones. I think that's going to be the next step. I think clones are going to take the next leg up in May, and I think the Gagosian event, I think that will do it. I kind of foreshadowed, tweeted this out like probably like 2 to 3 weeks ago that I do expect the next jump of clones to happen. So I think yeah, clones will take the next jump next. I think the bottom halves are coming. I think that's going to be the next step is the bottom halves. Now that we have the kicks and the Nike side and the monolith, I think this next monolith will take a little bit of time to do anything very spectacular. I don't think it's going to be any rush, but I do think that the clones are next. So the clones are
mm,
next. I still think we have a bigger ecosystem in cyber to build. I know that the videos have teased we get potentially more land, right, or more things to connect the dots. That are extensions, right? So we have that. I think there's a potential for a token, right? I know people have been mentioning something like drip potential, right? I think all bottom half wearables could be like wearables in general could be on an ecosystem of a token for Artifact and Nike. That could be tradable, right? A marketplace that you could buy and sell. We've seen what they've done on Sandbox to even attempt to do it on a different metaverse, like with different wearables and stuff. Imagine if that was on their own token and own marketplace, right? We would see a lot of we would see a lot of buys and sells and fluctuation. But again, what I think a token does is allow liquidation potentially for any holder where they don't feel like they're obligated to sell their actual clone, and also gives a reason for people to enter the ecosystem. And again, price discoverability when you have these airdrops. I really don't see. I know that, like, again, we had the vial for the clones, but now it's tough because like people are gonna hold monoliths one, right? And they're gonna be like, what's the benefit, right? But if monolith two is something really big, like I wouldn't want to hold a monolith one. Like monolith two could be anything. It could be wearables, it could be multiple things again. So like I think the EV is actually better when you open it, unless you don't plan on holding, right? So I plan on holding. I don't plan on selling a monolith, so why not just open them and just see what you get and gamify it early like that way. So I think the token is definitely something that can build the ecosystem. Um, let's see what else. So yeah, I mean we don't have the bottom halves. I think that's coming, and yeah, I mean the next monolith. It's very interesting, right? It's
Mm.
we I think the bottom halves of the clones are definitely something, and I think this could be like I think what could happen is the clones reveal the bottom halves, and I think the bottom halves are parallel to the top half. So if you have Murakami on the top, you'll probably have Murakami on the bottom as well. Something like that, just to reward the people for having that. So that's my guess is you'll be rewarded for top down. But then potentially the next monolith could be like wearables for the shoes, the pants, the shirts. Like it could be almost a care package now that we have the full clone, right? Or, you know, it could be token, right? It could be the drip token or the clones could like it's just so many routes. I would think the token would be
Yeah.
given to clones rather than monolith holders. So I think
Yeah.
bottom half and drip token could be benefits for clones. And I think for monolith holders, it could be like wearables, production of more items, right? Just being able to sell items and then also stack more in an ecosystem that's ever evolving, that's ever getting bigger.
Mm. Yeah, no, I think they're all great predictions, and I agree with the majority of them. I think the monolith, because it is specifically like Nike branded, and they've kind of mentioned you don't need a clone to be involved. So I try and keep the two like separate, right? I do think if by holding on, personally, I think it's going to be another type of Nike shoe. Like we got Dunks at the moment, right? So it could be a different type of
Could
Nike
be
sneaker,
Converse,
right?
Jordans, like different versions of different
Exactly.
shoes. That
So
yeah, I
I
mean, they
I
just
agree
gave
it'll
us
be a while.
access. They gave us
Yeah.
access to like Genesis Nike, right? I mean, that's like literally minting another blue chip, right? Potentially the same amount, right? So,
Mm.
I
Yeah.
mean,
It's crazy that it was an airdrop. I was posting about it on
you
Twitter
love
and
that. You love
people
it, it benefits
it's mad.
everyone. It's a no-brain. It's
Yeah.
amazing how undervalued CloneX is and like what is happening in this space and how they're innovating compared to others. And it's just still being slept on, I think. It's pretty
Yeah,
wild.
absolutely. Yeah, no, I think they're a fantastic long-term hold. And I think, yeah, full bodies in May is a great shout because they have got full body statues. Murakami's designed full body, statues to be on display at the event. So I think, that'll be a great time to unveil full body digitally as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, be really interesting to see how that kind of I just can't wait to be able to like be my avatar in a space somewhere, right? That's the
I like
goal. That's
mine.
what
Like
got
I
me
think
into
it
it.
reps me. I think
Yeah,
it's
yours
like
is
a
dope, man.
nice vibe. I again like I'm happy with it. Like it's kind of funny because it was the last one I minted, and the first thing I minted for the file was the reptile. So it's kind of connected. Um
Mm,
but yeah, I mean, I'm just blessed to be in this ecosystem making an impact, like really just trying to drive my own path with my community. And there's so much to look forward to, both digitally and in real life. I have multiple events planned for both. And yeah, I would say, yeah, for my NFTs, they're just gonna really just be the long-term impact that people are imagining because again, like those are 10 people that I will definitely, create very unique experiences for. So it will mean a lot. And they're also all one of ones, all different. Like the art and stuff that you'll see with it is unbelievable. So I
nice,
love the
man.
way it looks. It's just amazing to me. And I really just can't wait to like for next month. Next month's just be crazy because all this is gonna go on, right? The CloneX stuff and my Tropix Genesis all in 1 month. And then leads to the next month, which is again gonna be crazy activations.
Nice, man. Yeah, I mean, It's going to be a crazy couple of months for you. I wish you the best on the journey. I can't wait to see where it goes. I'm going to be watching like a hawk as all this stuff comes out. And, as an Artifact community member, we appreciate what you bring to the community. I love having this community of artists in their own right. And I think what you're bringing to the table in the metaverse and within these communities is really special. And it is going to bring people together and going to give you huge potential in the future. So, really appreciate you coming on and sharing your story with us. If you guys want to follow Tropix, what is it? Tropix Official online on Twitter?
Yeah, so it's Tropix Official on Twitter, discord.gg/Tropix on Discord, and then Tropix Music. You could probably search on Instagram, you'll find it verified. Um, yeah, just look up Tropix Music on any streaming platform. You'll find Tropix. That's me. If you want to listen to some of my music, I've released over 40 songs between 2014 and 2021. So yeah, I mean the last year and a half, I've released zero songs. So look forward to this summer releasing music again. Again, taking on the full creator side again, like grind it out all those parties just to show the potential, right, to collaborate with these projects. And now taking on my artistry side and again immersifying those projects back in full circle with these events. So again, I appreciate everybody again for you. Like I appreciate you to me, and yeah, it's really, really exciting what's coming forward. And, I'm just happy to talk about it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, really appreciate you coming on. And for anyone listening and watching, I appreciate you too. I'm loving doing these podcast live streams. It's been so good to connect. It's only been like 6 episodes, but it feels like so much more. And getting to connect with people is just bridging that gap between the metaverse and the real world. Like you said, I think it's really important. So thank you to everyone for following along. Thank you, Tropix, for joining us today. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, friends.